I think what some people don't know, or more people should know, is that you have carried on the kind of mutual aid work that was pioneered by groups like the Black Panthers. You do go out into the community. You do practice what you preach. So here's CJ shot a little bit of footage down at Skid Row.
We're down here, down by the Midnight Mission. This is the Midnight Mission, and this is the corner we're giving out the food. Just wanted to give a more up-close look at some of the stuff down here on one of the blocks of Skid Row. This is a street right by the Mission, and usually near the missions is where you have a lot of people gathered, and you can see here, this is like wall to wall down here. Yeah, so just wanted to give you a glimpse.
All right, so CJ, so what's going on down there? What are you?
Yeah, and the reason the videos are like that video is short because these are their homes. So you don't want to be
exploitative.
Yeah, like they're animals at a zoo. So I just wanted to kind of give a brief where people can view from home. But what's going down, at least in Skid Row in LA, is just the same. I would assume atrocities is going on. Skid Rows all over the world, the United States, and that is just it's a ton of people who can't afford housing, having to live out in the street, and build these sort of makeshift homes, and they make them out of anything from plastic. Some of them have like tents, some of them is just cardboard. So it's different types of makeshift housing that they have here, and for whatever reason, I don't know, when the city said it was okay for this type of buildup was okay, but this is how it is all over in the streets around Skid Row by the missions down there. And
you were
one thing.
Go on.
No, I was just gonna say one thing before we get into some other maybe more details. One thing that did give me hope when I go down there is that there's a lot of people helping on a small scale. And I saw a lot of this where people drove up to a corner where they just saw a lot of people congregating, and they hopped out while they were cars still running, put the blinkers on, and they have 20 meals in the back. They just unload the meals and hand them to the people right there and just kind of drive off. So you see a lot of that going on. Just people understanding, it just takes a little to help. Like it doesn't take, it really doesn't take a lot. You spend 2-3 hours down there. You really are helping people immensely more than you can imagine. But yeah.
Well, you told me when we got together the other night that they got luxury housing like 3 blocks from there.
Yes, that they just built a brand new like luxury housing structure, and so everybody knows that eventually that street is going to be cleared out. All those people that are set out, not the one in the video, but this other street that this luxury apartments are being built. It's amazing that they can build this luxury apartment while people are homeless on the outside. But it is a perfect depiction of the illustration of what's happening is that right around poverty, right around people's needs, we're just going about our day. We're just going about our lives and not really caring. So it kind of speaks to that.
All right. So we have some pictures of some of what you guys have done. So this is, you did a Skid Row outreach and gave out pizza down there to the residents.
And clothing. So when we do these types of outreaches, or this one in particular, we do the flyer to raise money. So we have the money raising part first. The clothing, food, we got like 30 pizzas, and then we went to Goodwill and bought the rest of the money, like half the money we bought a different clothing from things that you would need for a person that's out on the street, like socks, like sweaters, like heavier type clothing. We got that, and the clothing goes first. you can barely get out of your car with the clothing
Right.
before it's literally gone in 15 minutes. And we had several $1,000s of clothes and it was gone. So the need is there.
I think a lot of people don't realize it. It gets cold here at night. You haven't been to LA. It is cold. It's a desert. It is even on a hot day, it's cold here. So this is, let's go to the picture.
Nick, maybe Nick can speak to this. When he was down, Rome came out to, Rome does this, what he's called Tour for the Poor, where he tours different states. He's been out here in California. He's been in KC. When he went in KC, they did a diaper run. Raised money,
that's what this
bunch
is.
of diapers.
Barbecue.
Yeah, go ahead, Nick.
Yeah, go ahead, Nick.
Yeah, we had a barbecue. And we gave away thousands of diapers. Like, it's crazy. I think maybe over 2,000 or so diapers. Like, way more than we actually had planned. Remember, CJ, we had to do another run. Like the whole community pulled it. They're like, what? Free diapers? That shows you guys the state. Even you have Democrats that are telling you the economy is good. Meanwhile, the block is lined up for free diapers. Show you how great the economy is doing. And this is stuff that people are very thankful for. I love doing this stuff. Like, it's good for the soul to not just be some loudmouth talking stuff about politics. You need to go out there and actually help people. And it's unfortunate. Like, can you imagine if instead of all the billions of dollars that sent to Nazi in Ukraine, it would be spent funding projects like these? Like, this is how you build community. And at RBN, we focused on mutual aid. This is how you build a movement where you are forming your own outside government. The outside government you need is crucial, and this is what people miss when it comes to revolution. You guys think revolution spawned out of nowhere? Right. How do you get to revolution? You get to revolution from separating yourself from the government that is currently implementing tyranny on your people. So when you build mutual aid societies, as we've been stressing on RBN, you separate yourself from the government, you build hardcore oppositional force, and that's how you start the process of change. So mutual aid is extremely crucial. And that's exactly what we're doing here. And this is why we implore class traders. Like, if you're someone who has like 2-3 kids, you're working 40, 50 hours, you got that master's degree, you worked hard for your position, you don't got time to wage a revolution. There's things you can do. Be a class trader. Fund these projects. Can you guys imagine if Rome had the kind of money that TYT has? The kind of change that he would actually get done with $20 billion from Krakenberg or whatever from these billionaires? Wow. That's what we are advocating for. As people are spending their time donating to politicians, there was this goofball who gave RFK Jr. $8,000 instead of giving it to mutual aid. And that's why the working class is in the state that it is in right now. We've been misled to give money to politicians, to work on campaigns, to canvass for politicians, instead of canvassing and advocating for ourselves. When I look at my times at the Bernie campaign, I will do the same thing, but you don't need a campaign to do it. Why do you need a campaign to raise awareness? Why do you need politicians to do that? But Russ, I think you want to chime in, so go ahead, brother.
No, it always gets me when you have these very rich vanity candidates like RFK, like Marianne. Pay for it yourself, man. Like, you believe in it that much, pay for it yourself. What are you bothering working people for? You know you're not going to win. Stop it.
Exactly.
Stop it. What are you picking people's pockets for? Or why don't you do something like this? Do something like this. Take that money instead of dumping it into the political system, paying a bunch of printers and consultants and canvassers. Why don't you buy people diapers and food? In fact, if you really want a political future, as you're saying, that's a good way to start. Like, that's good. You want to get people on your side? You want to get people passionately devoted to your cause? It's a better way to do it than going and giving a speech that most of them are never going to see and never going to hear if they see people representing you coming to their house.
Well, according to people like Crystal Ball, we're nihilists, Russell.
We're not.
We're nihilists, and we got to grow up.
Well,
because we don't support Marianne and Democrats, we want to actually provide material needs for people. So millionaires who live in air-conditioned studios are telling people who engage in mutual aid and don't want to advocate for the Democratic Party, we're the nihilists. I'll tell you guys right now, and I want to say this: the nihilists are the people who believe that revolution cannot happen. It's the people who they are so stuck up in capitalist realism that the fact that this society and the establishment will never be overturned, they are so defeated by the system that they believe they have no choice other than vote for Jim Crow Joe.
Well, what about incremental change, Nick?
Like, what's the point?
Nick,
That-
what
they are
about
not- go ahead,
incremental
sorry, go
change?
Incremental change. A slow death. What about a slow death by poisoning?
Let's
In
let's
other
show
words.
this gentleman
But
here.
Great guy.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was a
Okay,
neighbor,
sorry.
Nick, or he was just somebody that picked up the diapers. Was he a neighbor, or it was just somebody that picked? That
Oh, he
needed
was
the diapers
someone from the
also?
block who heard about what's going on. Met this guy for the first time. Great guy. He had a newborn. That's why I asked him. Like, I didn't want to impose it. That's why I don't have a ton of pictures. Because I don't want to be like, hey,
Yeah,
I gave you
I understand.
diapers. Pose. Diapers. Pose.
I
The
mean,
only reason I got
Yeah.
this picture is because this guy was so nice. We had a long conversation afterwards because he was asking like, why you do? I didn't know the guy. He was a random neighbor, and he came there and we talked and we gave him diapers, and all of a sudden we friends. And you know how there's like this scourge of loneliness in this country.
yes.
Maybe Americans wouldn't be so lonely if you guys engage in community activism. Because now I know this guy,
Yeah.
we're friends. Never knew him beforehand. That's why I got a picture from him because we was already friendly. I was like, hey, you mind just so I can show people that we actually did this? So I took a picture of him because it's really actually hard. And CJ just explained it's actually hard to get these pictures because you don't want to be like,
Yeah.
hey, pose.
You don't want to
know what I mean?
impose.
So, yeah.
Well, you
Yeah.
know, that's something I've heard more from people who get labeled right, and sometimes they are, sometimes they aren't. They have talked a lot in that space about how corporations, the government, they want us isolated and they want us alienated
Yes.
because that makes
Yes.
you easier to control and it makes you easier to brainwash. They were saying a lot of that during the coup. And I think there's something to it. I think there is because people
I agree.
together are
Absolutely.
powerful. When they're sitting there in front of their TV, they're just getting hypnotized by that messaging. And if you don't have any social reality to measure that messaging off of, it's all you have. Just a nation of zombies looking at their smartphones and watching TV.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
All right, fellas. So let's take a look at your donation link. All right, so this, I don't know. You know, all the time we've known each other, I've never asked you if your religious views, but I'll say all of us wound up on Give, Send, Go because we can trust them a lot more than the secular organization. They're a Christian organization, but they play it straight, and you
Right
don't
on.
have to worry really about them censoring you. So you want to let them know about your fundraising efforts so you can do more work like this in the community?
Yeah, this latest one is just this is for all of our chapters. Donate to our community outreach fund. We're just raising money for all so that all of our chapters. We have 5. We have Orlando, Long Beach, Detroit, Boston, and KC, Missouri, and we're raising funds. Each local location does something different for their community. So more broadly speaking, we want to do like a diaper run, probably in KC, and then out in LA, I'll probably do some a food and clothing run down at Skid Row. So the funds will be used in different capacities, but all of it is going to be used for outreach in the community. So that's what this particular fundraiser for. It's only a $2,000 goal, so this is a smaller one that we're looking to do. But if you're able to donate $1, $2, a couple of bucks to a good cause, and we don't pocket money, we don't pay ourselves. We put literally all of the money, we spend it on whatever the campaign is that we're working on. So just understand 100% of the money goes to the campaign.
And
So,
that,
guys, do you guys realize that
go ahead, Nick.
we spend around $300 to $400 million on the Bernie campaign over the course of 5 years?
You're gonna make me cry, man. Why you gotta say that?
I get most of the talk. Do you guys know how ridiculous
I
that
didn't
is?
wear my serious shirt today.
Can you imagine if 1% of that money went to I won't say just us, anyone doing mutual aid? I'm not gonna be selfish. If 1% of that money went to mutual aid, where the working class would be right now?
Yep.
If 50% of that money went to the working class, where would we be right now? Meanwhile, you have people like Marianne Williamson who wants to collect your money in your check. They don't want you to donate to a food bank. They don't want you to donate to mutual aid. They want you to donate to Justice Democrats.
Right.
They want you to buy Ryan Grimm's book. You guys see how the professional managerial class is to mislead workers so we can misuse our very limited funds? We don't got super PACs. We have a very limited amount of funds we have as a working class movement. So we have charlatans like Marianne Williamson, RFK, that is siphoning money from the working class people that could be used to build a revolution. They are showing themselves as class enemies. And not just you supporting a Democrat, and not just you supporting a politician. You are siphoning limited resources we have towards social change. And this is the point I keep bringing up to people. I brought this point up to Marianne Williamson. I asked her, why will people donate to your campaign instead of mutual aid? And she said, if you feel that way, you shouldn't vote for me. Which gave up the game. It's not about winning. It's about taking your money and wasting it. That's the PLC class.
And that's it. And this is what people need to understand. It's not about nihilism. It's the opposite. You have to be very hopeful to go in this direction. What's more nihilistic than to keep doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result? What's more nihilistic than that? That's just politics as a parlor game. And that's why the only people left I find who are in the Democratic Party are people who are comfortable enough that they can afford for politics to be a gossip, just gossip and entertainment for them. It's no different from talking about what movies they like and what this and that celebrity did because they're comfortable enough. Keaton often says, these are people who have problems the government can't solve, right? Their problems are existential. Their problems are ennui. Their problems are psychological. Money, health insurance, they got that. They're good. Those are the only people that are left. But as the economy continues to degrade, there are less and less of those people. And that's where you have the kind of social instability we have now. And that's an opportunity. That's an opening. So before throwing your money to any politician, doesn't matter who it is, we slam Marianne a little bit because she deserves it. We slam RFK a little bit because ditto. But hey, man, I would say that about Vivek. I would say that about Donald Trump, and I'm sure you guys would too. Fuck all these people, man. Fuck all these people. None of them would piss on you if you were on fire. None of them care about you.
Russell, we have people in Iowa that is risking their life in a blizzard to vote for politicians who don't care about them. How tragic is that?
That's it. When you
do that, be someone who's going to have a health event because they wanted to vote for a politician. That's sad. That is sad.
Make America great again. All right. Tell them where they can find you guys.
Yeah, make sure you follow us on all of the social media platforms from Instagram to Twitter, or it's called X now, and we're on Facebook too. But most importantly, on YouTube, make sure you go and follow us or subscribe to us. Revolutionary Blackout Network. Right now, we have been on so long that when you start to type it out, it will auto-populate most likely when you get to the blackout part. So Revolutionary Blackout Network. And you can also find us online. Our website is revolutionaryblackoutnetwork.com. You can see all of what we're about, pictures of our outreach and our different chapters. You can find that all on our website.
All right.
So you can follow me. I'm sorry. You can follow me on Twitter. Compton Made Me. Go ahead, Nick.
Yeah. Socials MMA. Make sure you guys check us out at Revolutionary Blackout Network. My show Nick at Night airs on Tuesday and Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern, where I cover foreign policy and the class war for around an hour. I just had Keaton from Due Distance on Thursday for my Nick at Night show, and I just say you killing it, Russell. I appreciate it's great to see Due Distance killing it. Great to see you on the Jimmy Dore show. I had a vision of the weak, effeminate, weak left. Like the Cal Kalinskis, the David Doe's, the Mike Figueredo. I said it to Keaton when he was on my show Thursday. I had a vision that these people will be made irrelevant, that these people will be exposed for the clown they are. And Due Distance and Savvy Sabs, you guys are killing it. You guys are destroying these people in the narrative. So congratulations on the success. You guys deserve every bit of it. And you're killing the game, man. Thank you for having us on.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Come see us do a live stand-up show. We'll be in Venice, California, Palmdale, California, Omaha, Des Moines, Milwaukee, Lansing, Bend, Oregon, Portland, Oregon, Seattle, Washington, Boston, Massachusetts, and we're going to Europe. Do you live in Europe? We're going to be there. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for all those tickets.